Yo, call me Densha Attack, the way my pockets feel stacked. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Sketch. Today, and only today, I am incredibly excited to talk about Densha Attack. And this is going to interest you because, funny enough, there was an article going around right when this game came out from Polygon saying the best 3D shot game of all time just came out. And while that's a stupid headline and it's not true, I will say if you like Sonic at all and you like me and you like this channel, you trust me, I urge you to play this game. I'm gonna get all into it. Today we are here to get in depth and yap about Densha Attack. I figured I would do this, you know what I'm saying, free for all, lock in, just yap, because I just beat the game and I've basically been playing it non-stop for the last few days. And oh my god, it's been so long since I've fallen in love with a game like this. Like, pretty much from the first level I played, my mind was blown. For those that don't know, I mean, you could look at any bit of footage. You've probably seen this at, I don't remember where it debuted, because I remember distinctly seeing this revealed at, I think, like the pre-show of a Summer Games Fest or a Game where I was like, oh my god, like, you're just this crazy train doing tricks. This looks cool. And then I feel like it sort of disappeared in my mind for a while. And then, yeah, boom, suddenly it was like, all right, it's coming out this week. It's like, oh shit, okay, cool. And, I saw all the amazing reviews. I saw some people that, I know in the industry say, like, this is awesome. And obviously, I checked it out myself. And man, the moment I stepped into a level, I was like, this is special. Like, this is something special. It's been so long, like I said, that I've played a game where I genuinely, like, was jumping for joy, not just at like the hype finale or something. Like, this entire game throughout it, I was overjoyed and I loved just moving and playing and everything. So the premise here of this game is, the world is technically post-apocalypse, you know what I mean? And you are outlaws, right? The people that, ride these trains that go around are essentially outlaws, and they call themselves Densha Attackers, right? Now, the story, extremely simple, right? Very much you're outlaws, you meet different characters, you fight different rival gangs, all that. It's kind of just like an excuse to do some crazy shit, but the characters are so endearing and fun that it makes it very, very, very cool. So that's the story, and I want to get that out of the way because we gotta talk about the gameplay. So as you can see on screen here, this is insane. You are literally a high-speed train, and the whole gimmick is that, you're doing these insane tricks. It feels like it's a mix of Tony Hawk, right, with the trick system, Sonic in terms of the speed, stuff like, the 3-lane, swabs, the wall runs and stuff, Jet Set Radio, obviously, with the art style and even some of the tricks and the music, and a bit of, SSX, and even, I would say, Crazy Taxi. It feels like that is the best way to describe it. And if you like any of those individual games, you will adore this game. I really do think you would have to be crazy to not like this. That's just how cool this game is. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I couldn't stop playing it. And it's so rare nowadays to play a game or a platformer or a high-speed game where you like every single level. And that's how good this game was. There was not a single level where I was like, oh, damn it. Oh, this is not balanced. Oh, this one is the one that sucks. This is the one I would never replay. Like, no. Every level is unique, and the game is also like split into categories of like levels. Like, there's just the regular level where it's get from the beginning to the end. You're doing the tricks, you're trying to get all the great movements, keep your combo up, and just you flexing on the movement, right? There's those, and then there's race levels where you're racing against like a bunch of different racers. You can get first or second, third in each lap, which is really awesome. Those are super fun, and again, they also work linearly. They have these mission like levels. And the mission levels are essentially these stages where you have 3 different objectives. Sometimes it's 4. And I remember being so scared when those levels came out, be like, oh god, like doing like missions in a game that's so fast paced like this, am I gonna have to like be annoyed? And no, they like work so perfectly linearly. It's almost like you pick one of the missions, and when you pick it, it's like it's a linear mission that you just go through pretty easily, right? And then you do the next one and the next one. So that's the type of mission. And then each world will have a like race park mission where it's kind of just, hey, get as many style points as possible within the time, which those are obviously incredibly fun. That's like where you're gonna flex doing the most tricks and movements as possible. And every world also ends with a boss fight, and the boss fights are like your big set piece moments. But what's so good about the game is like even outside the boss levels, there are plenty of set pieces. The entire game feels like you're playing a set piece. The gameplay, I don't know how to explain it to you. It is so kinetic and fun, and I think the game does an incredible job of slowly introducing different gimmicks and ideas. The game is 9 chapters long. Technically, it's like 8, because I think like after the first 7 chapters, 8 and 9 are kind of like one short big story chapter. You know, they're like half the lengths of both worlds. So I would almost say it's like 8 chapters, but you get like a lot of level out of the game. You get like a ton of gameplay in it. And for me, like I said, I just ended up looking forward to every single level. And you'll go to like so many different places aesthetically. Like you'll go to snow mountains, you'll go to neon cities, you'll go through forests, you'll go through grasslands, you'll go through Tokyo. Like the whole game is set in like different places of Japan, which is super cool, and the characters reflect that and they talk about that. And like there's lore, if you care about that. You can go to like, you know, these hot springs where the characters will have discussions with each others. The collectibles you get in the levels, you're also able to use them for unlockables. And of course, dude, I'm going all over the list because I'm so excited about the game. But like I said, I want to talk about a little bit about the gameplay, like moment to moment. So as you can see here, right, a lot of it is going to be your riding, your wall running, you're doing tricks on rails. But like I said, the more you play, the more each world introduces a gimmick or idea. So like you'll start the game just doing tricks and jumping, and then they'll introduce wall riding, which like looks unbelievably cool, right? And then they'll introduce a like hook system where you can hook yourself up on the rooftop of something, right? And then they'll introduce like rail grinding, right? Which obviously like is always peak and always super fun, right? So that's another one, right? And then they'll introduce like a gimmick where there's these wind turbines in the air. When you do a trick in the air, you do a bunch of tricks and like you're like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever, right? So you have that system, you have an anti-gravity system that gets introduced. Like the game just gradually introduces gimmicks, but it gives you enough time to breathe with each one so that you can like learn it. You know, the only gimmick that I think was a little difficult were like the last 2, because there's like a final gimmick where you can like hold ZL and the left stick to like, you know, go on 2 rails at once. And like that one was like a little difficult, but for the most part, like all of them are pretty simple to understand. And once you get into those later levels where like you're flowing the wall run into, you know, the wall rides into, you know, the hook shots and everything, you just get into this like beautiful flow state that is just so unbelievably satisfying. And the game is so fast, you know, with its loading, with its level of gameplay, that like you can kind of play it however you want. You know, each level also has missions. You could do the different missions in the level. Like it'll be like, you know, rail grind for this amount of time here, or get all the collectibles, or, you know, find the secret exit, or some will be play the entire level without dying, like stuff like that that'll keep you engaged. And one thing that I really like about the game is you get 3 gold medals. Like I said, 1 for all the challenges, 1 for how long it took you to beat the level, and 1 for your overall score in the level. So you can kind of go for the gold medal that you want, but the nice part about the game is that it saves your medal no matter what. So it's not one of those games where to get a full gold on a medal, you have to do all 3 of those. Like you have to do every objective and get this and get that all at once. No, like once you get a gold medal, you always have that gold medal. So once you end up doing all the challenges, you have all the gold medals, boom, full gold. So that's satisfying. And yeah, look, I know a lot of people will say it's not like a Sonic game, but I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, as someone who plays Sonic for a living, this scratched that itch unbelievably hard. I mean, it's stuff like the wall run, the stomp. You know, there's even sections where like an enemy is chasing you and you have to dodge the 3 different lanes, you know, to dodge stuff. And I'm like, this is 100% just like Sonic Unleashed. And so while it is very different than a Sonic game, the way you're playing it is very different because you're trying to chain combos. Because I think that's what truly sets it apart from like a Sonic game versus what this is. Like with this game, it's about chaining different moves and combos together, right? Whereas with Sonic, it is purely focused on the obstacle course. You know, like it's dodging things, jumping over things, going on things, but you're not trying to keep a combo in Sonic. Now, granted, a combo system in Sonic, I wouldn't complain. That would be kind of sick to have. But yeah, I do think that, like, to me is the big distinctive difference, right? That's right. To me, when people say it's the best 3D Sonic game, like that article, I'm like, it's not quite a Sonic game, in my opinion. Sonic, there's a lot more to it. You know, there's even the moment-to-moment platforming in Sonic that matters a lot. Like, you know, whether it's the Sonic Adventure games or even, you know, Sonic Frontiers, which I love a lot. Like, it's a lot like the Boost games. You could probably say it's the best Sonic Boost formula out there, but I would not go as far as say, yeah, like best 3D Sonic. It's a very completely different thing. But in terms of the art style, just phenomenal, right, through and through, right? And oh my god, I haven't even started gushing about the soundtrack. Guys, the soundtrack is unbelievable. I mean, you have T. Lopes on this, you have Lotus Juice on this, you have Too Mellow on this, you have artists from all across Sega. They got the Daytona guy on the soundtrack, they got a bunch, they got the SSX person, they even have Splatoon composers on the soundtrack. I mean, this soundtrack is legitimately like an all-star cast, and I'm only scratching the surface. I had some of the artists for the game in my chat, you know, reacting to their songs, and they got such an incredible all-star lineup of music that this is literally one of those games where I would tell you, dude, you are getting a soundtrack as well as a video game, right? That's always like one of my favorite compliments to give a video game. And also, this game is $20. Like that's like the other robbery over here. It's like this game is only $20, which is legitimately a crime for how incredibly fun this game is. Now, another nice layer too is you can unlock different trains in the game. So you can unlock different trains. You also have a bunch of cool stickers that you can unlock. You know, they actually have some like content creator ones. I would love to get one. Please put me as one of them later down the line. But yeah, they have these like content creator stickers. They have like these, you know, clan stickers of like all the different like clans in the game, because they have like the Musashi clan and all these other ones in there. And like, it's really dope. You know what I mean? They even have like the police force. They've got, you know, the outsiders. They've got so many in there. It's really cool. But also you have different trains with different abilities, right? So for example, one will be like, you know, okay, your manual combo is longer, but you know, your drift bonus is lower. Or for example, your trick score goes up, but you know, if you fail a combo, you lose your score. So they have a bunch of different trains, so you can play like with your art style, not art style. You can play in like the style that you really want. The one thing I wish is that I wish you had full customization control. Like I wish I could pick a train type and then color it the way I want and put whatever I want on it, because certain trains have certain color schemes attached to it. So sometimes there'd be a train that like I like what the modifier is on it, but I don't like the design on it. So that's like one thing that maybe they can just add in an update. That would be really cool. I'd also fuck with the photo mode because the game is like so sick. And like, again, I cannot stress enough how incredibly versatile the game is, because you'll have that gameplay flow, but like levels will introduce unique gimmicks. Like you'll have moments where, you know, you're gonna go underwater, right? There's moments where you're literally like riding a jet ski. There's moments where you're sliding down a mountain. There's moments where you are literally like going on a half pipe like it's a skateboarding game. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of shit that I loved about this game, is this like it was this feeling that every level felt so rewarding, right? And to this, you know, I know I'm about to spend like an incredible amount of hours just trying to learn these levels, get the best combo I possibly can, do all the challenges, because like I see just how much love is put into these levels and how much fun you're gonna have replaying it. And that is like an itch that for me just works, you know, and you guys know this as Sonic fans as well, like that itch to want to get your A rank, your S rank, you know. This game scratches that itch incredibly hard. And that's like one thing I just adored about the game so much, is just that like it just felt like a love letter to games of, you know, the Dreamcast era / early 2000s. It's weird, it's fun, it's unique, it's gimmicky, but like I guess for me what I'm shocked by is genuinely the fact that like, wow, like every level is good. You know, every level is fun, every level is enjoyable. Like there is not a single bad like aspect of it. And I'm shocked, like every game I play, like I can find you the thing that bothers me, but here I couldn't. The set pieces are incredible, the characters are super fun, the gameplay is amazing. And I felt this is one of those games that I recommend when you play it, try to just play it as much as you can, because it requires like finger dexterity in like the best way possible. You know what I mean? Like you will be, trust me when I say, like if at first it seems like it's difficult, that's normal, right? When I was first playing, I was getting a bunch of bronzes. I was dying. I was like, one thing I kept doing, and this is literally like the Sonic brain rot in me, I kept stomping, right? Because in Sonic games, I'm so used to like, you know, jumping to a platform, stomping to the rail, jumping off, stomping at a spot. Like I kept doing that, but like I needed to stop. I needed to just do it when the game, he gave me the prompt of like, hey, you should be stomping right now. But yeah, I kept doing that instinctively because of Sonic. But one thing I loved about the flow is, like I said, you learn that finger dexterity, because so to get a manual combo, like to keep your combo going, you have to hold down or up the second you land. And so you will literally find yourself, you know, jumping down, doing a bunch of tricks. It has like a Trictionary, which is really cool, where like you can press the circle pad in a bunch of different directions and you're gonna find yourself be doing tricks. There's a lot of advanced tech that I didn't even do. I'm sure if you go on YouTube and watch like speed runs of the game, it's gonna look like the coolest thing in the world. And what I love about the game is even when you are dying, when you're losing, the checkpoints are super nice and fair. Like there was never once where I was dying at a part where I was like, oh my god, this checkpoint is like so unfair. Like everything felt so close to each other checkpoint wise that like there was literally like not once where I got frustrated or upset with a part. So that was just super rare for me, because I feel like nowadays there's always one part of a game where I'm like, oh god, here we go here. And so like this game not only is just shot up as one of my favorite games ever, but like I just feel like it is a must play video game. And my biggest fear is this game getting robbed. That's my biggest fear this year, is this game somehow getting robbed at the Game Awards or any award show. Like this thing should be nominated for Game of the Year, Indie Game of the Year, Soundtrack of the Year. Like it is so special, unique, and fun that I really hope that it gets the flowers it deserves. I mean, especially like I said, gameplay wise, that flow is so unbelievably good, because like I was saying, like you're gonna end up seeing that you're gonna go from a manual combo that you land into, and you're gonna get addicted to trying to keep your combo meter up, because to keep your combo meter up, you always have to stay in that manual position. So like you'll do your tricks, you'll land, you'll hold manual, then there's gonna be like a situation where you have to switch lanes. You can switch lanes. If you switch lanes last second, you get like an extra bonus point, right? If you then jump to the, you know, side, you know, the grind rails, you can also like hold the grind rails left and right to stay centered so that you get more points. You trick off of those. Like there is an unbelievable flow that starts to take place the more and more you go into it, and it literally just becomes that every level feels like a set piece, right? And that's like the biggest praise I can give the game, is that every level in the game is unique in its own way, right? Like every level will make you feel like, okay, now I can just do this level in the park levels. Like I loved the race park levels, because in those levels, it's literally purely just try to get the best score possible in the allocated time frame, right? And to me, I'm like, that's incredibly fun. And like if you keep your combo meter going, like the timer at 0, like puts you in overtime until you lose it, so you're gonna get motivated to do that. The collectibles are super fun to get, the extra objectives. There's even this like satisfying mechanic where if you get a certain amount of combo / points, you fill up this meter on the right of your screen, and it unlocks this like rainbow road path that you can see in a lot of levels. And like that will be one of the most satisfying things you do in the game, trust me. Like when you see that like rainbow road path you can take, you're always gonna end up wanting to take it. And a lot of levels have just like alternate paths, and there's probably some advanced tech you can do where like you could probably hold the jump button, jump over an entire platform if you want to, and figure out how to go crazy with the game. I will say one actual like little flaw I had with the game is there are definitely some bugs. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely some like moments where like I went flying off a platform or I went down the floor at some moments, but the moments were so far and few in between. Like it never ever required like a level restart. But yeah, it could be like a little upsetting when you were doing a really good combo and then something you're like, wait, how did that happen? Ended up happening. But again, they are very few and far in between. And like I said, the game is so fast paced and incredibly fun that like I want more. You know, I'm already greedy. Like I haven't even started like replaying all the levels yet to get all the medals, but I'm already greedy and I want more. You know, I want like an arcade mode where, you know, you go through a string of levels trying to get as much points as possible in an amount of time. Oh yeah, I didn't even expand on my crazy taxi thing. The reason I also said crazy taxi is because in those mission levels, right? Like I said, there's levels where you have to do like 3 different tasks and missions. There's literally like one of the missions will be like, hey, deliver this to like 5 different people, right? And so you'll literally be like, you know, on the grind rails or, you know, on the tracks or whatever, trying to give these people their stuff. And that like scratched that Crazy Taxi itch. And it also just, it scratches the Crazy Taxi itch just because of like how the camera is. Like it's specifically the camera and the movement. You'll get it. It's very like fast and frenetic. Like it's so good. Absolutely, man. And yeah, as you can see, this has been me gushing about the game for like 20 minutes. And yeah, I mean, I cannot say anything but praise for the game. This is obviously my game of the year by far. I would be shocked if a game took over this. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely would be shocked through and through. Just feel like this game just, like I said, in terms of ideas, the best compliment I can give this game, and I said this to my chat and everything, and I think everybody agrees, this game feels like the dumb way you would play with your toys as a kid, right? Where like you would grab like your toy car, you'd get it whoosh like over something, you'd have it like bounce on top of something, like you'd ride it on your, you know, walls, have it like flip off. Like this game is literally that come to life. And I think that's the best compliment I can give it, is it feels like an imagination come true. Like it feels beautifully made, man. It's just like, it's unbelievably fun. It's unbelievably cool. The music is unbelievably cool. It's a game, if you show it to anyone, they'd be like, this is awesome. And if they didn't think it was awesome, don't talk to that person ever again. Genuinely. Like I cannot sing enough praises for Densha Tech. I think it's one of my favorite games ever made. I think it is an incredibly special game. And like I said, the reason I brought this to your attention is because I know you guys and I know Sonic fans. If you like Sonic in any way, no, this is not a Sonic game, but it 100% will scratch an itch. I know it, because it scratched an itch for me. I like it's the stuff like the wall running, the lane changing. It's just the energy of it. You'll get it. You know what I mean? If you played any boost level, you'll understand. It's very Unleashed and Crazy Taxi and Jet Set and SSX and Tony Hawk all put together, and it's beautiful, man. I just love it so much. So guys, please play this game and let me know what you all think after you've played it. And it's awesome. I love Densha Tech. Just go play it. That's all I got for you. Just go play the damn game.